big fucking news. The Sixers ended up trading James Harden to the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, the trade was they got James Harden, PJ Tucker, Philip Petrusev, and a couple of things others. Yeah, and they gave him Marcus Morris, Robert Covington. Two others I think are part of that one too. So a few players there.
They got 2 picks from OKC.
I think one from OKC. Actually, it might be two actually, and like a 2028 unprotected first round, 2 second rounds, a pick swap, just a whole package of picks and players for James Harden and a couple extra players. He gets to go back home and play for his Clippers. That he's a California kid himself, and he gets to join this, I would say, threesome of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, James, and now you got Russ Westbrook too. So he gets his boy back. I wouldn't call it a big four just because they're not those guys anymore, but they're still all very fucking talented.
Hey, that was a bar.
It just kind of rolls off sometimes, What do you think about this trade? A, does it make a big difference for the Clippers? And B, about how the whole thing just went down? Like, how do you feel about that whole thing?
I'll answer B first. How it all went down was pretty fucking stupid, if you ask me. I understand James Harden's frustration. I really do. I don't know what happened behind closed doors.
Nobody does.
But I could tell you one thing. I could tell you I don't like the teams that Daryl Morey assembles. And I think that's what made James Harden mad. So I don't blame him. But I think he should have handled himself like a professional.
Agreed.
That's just my opinion.
Mine too. Absolutely agree.
But, I mean, who am I to tell a man how to be a man? So, hey, James Harden did what he did, right? And now he is where he is. Now, does this make a big difference for the Clippers? I think yes. And let me tell you why.
All right.
Not in the way you think. Not in the way you think.
Okay.
I think it drastically lowers their chances to advance in the playoffs. I believe I was going to come on this show and I was going to tell the people, my team to look out for in the West are the LA Clippers. But now I don't believe that.
Man.
There's only one basketball. Who are you going to bench? None of them. You're not going to bench a single one of them.
None of them.
It's going to be Russ, Harden, Kawhi, PG, and then Zubac.
Yep.
Poor Zubac. He's just going to be a rebounder. All of these dudes are going to need the ball.
Yep. Ball-centric.
There's only one way this thing works. They all stay healthy, and they play this entire season together. And that's going to lead to them figuring out who's going to have to defer. And more than likely, guess who it's going to be? And I think it's going to be the worst decision ever. Paul George.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to be Paul George because he's too nice of a guy. And so he'll be the first one to say, I'll sacrifice. Number 2, their role players, Terrence Mann and Bones Highland specifically, their minutes are going to go down. Now, I mentioned those two guys because I thought those two guys were going to play big down the stretch for the Clippers because they played in big games and big moments with the Clippers already, with Kawhi being out, PG being out at certain times, all of last season. So those two guys are going to be ready to go for big playoff time minutes.
Yeah.
They're good for like 20 minutes a game in a playoff series. They will be. Just watch how the season plays out. But that's not going to happen because James Harden is in town to steal minutes.
That's all he's there for. That's it.
And we know what James Harden we're going to get in the playoffs. We've seen it every single year of his career. Sometimes he doesn't even play.
Nope.
We don't see the James Harden in the playoffs that we see in the regular season consistently enough.
Never. No.
We've seen him in spurts and moments.
Yeah.
I remember when he played with the Thunder and he was coming off the bench and he killed San Antonio. He was the main contributor as to why OKC went to the finals. But then in the finals, he disappeared.
Yep. See you later.
So this has been James Harden just his entire career, just inconsistency in the playoffs. It's not that he's a bad player. And I'll bring up another guy who's going to have a diminished role, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
I love Russell Westbrook's role for this team before James Harden got here because he plays with pace.
Yes.
Something that Kawhi and PG don't play with, because they're very smooth players, so they're gonna play at their own pace, right?
Absolutely.
Just like Kevin Durant, they're gonna play at their own pace. But Russ, if he gets the rebound, he's the Energizer Bunny. He's gonna try to beat the ball all the way down to the rim, and if he does, he's gonna lay the ball up. And they let Russ go, and that's why Russ was very successful in his short time with the Clippers, and that's why he's back on that team. Because the Clippers realized, hey, we can use this guy because he brings a different element to our team that we don't have. And now he's not going to be touching the ball as much because James Harden's going to have the ball in his hands. Because you're paying James Harden $30-some-odd million.
He's going to have the ball. Yeah.
He's going to have the ball. Ty Lue's going to put it in his hands regardless.
That's right. For better or worse.
For better or for worse. And I believe it's for worse. For the Clippers.
Wow.
About yourself.
I absolutely agree with everything you just said. And for me, I was like, the only way this is going to work is if Harden is cool being the third option, which he's not. He's never going to want that, which I'm like, if he can do that, if he was come in.
If he was James Harden from Oklahoma City, yes, this definitely could work, but he's not that guy anymore.
Exactly.
In his mind, he's James Harden in Houston.
Right. Like the guy. And I'm like,
yeah.
No, like we've seen Harden be the guy. And again, it's not a lack of talent, it's lack of effort. Like he's never been that guy where he can take an entire franchise with them to a championship. Like you said, on the Thunder, as a starting role player type, like he's great. He's great. If he came to LA with that same mentality, I'd be like interested. And again, minus maybe 5 years or
Definitely
so.
It would work.
It would work. This is not what's going to happen in LA. Nope. I don't care what anybody says. That's not what he came here for. And like you said, that's not what they're paying him to do. So I'm sorry, LA. And I look at this stat. Did you know the Clippers are the oldest North American sports franchise to never play in a championship game?
I didn't know that.
I'll let that
I know
marinate.
They never have. I didn't know they were the oldest.
They're the oldest in all of North American sports history. And again, not winning, to never even play in a championship game.
Jeez.
So when I think about that, I go, you signed James Harden, and you're still not going to be in a championship game. Like, what are you even doing? Why aren't you building for the future?
They had a better shot without Harden, in my opinion.
I think so. This is another one of those that I think we'll look back and go, addition by subtraction. Like,
like with the Phoenix Suns. Like with the Phoenix Suns.
With Aiden and shit. So, like, this is that, it's that same feeling where I'm just like, I don't think it's going to work. He wants to play with his buddies again. He wants to be at home. He doesn't want to travel that much. Like, that, great. You'll get paid for it. You're still James Harden, but this was not the move, in my opinion.